Yeah, it says I'm live. It's like 10 a.m. here, and they just had an INR done on me, which means they're taking the levels of blood thinners in my blood, and it's been low because it's the weather. My body does not like this weather. Okay, phantom pains, joint aches, the barometric pressure dropping and fluctuating like it's been. And plus I'm starting to get tinnitus in my ears and ringing in my ears, and I'm starting to get headaches when I bend over for more than 2 or 3 seconds. If I pick something up or if I'm petting my cat and my head goes below a certain, I start getting headaches. And I tell these guys that, right? Now, what's happening is, up until like 2, 3 years ago, I could get a ride to the VA hospital. They would send transportation out and I could go meet with the doctors. Okay. Now I have to make my own arrangements, get a ride sharing thing with the city to where I have to pay. I have to pay to go to the VA hospital. Okay, I can't take the bus. Usually, if I get on the bus, I don't pay anything. They just let me go. But I can't take the bus because they don't lock you down properly in the bus. I'm missing a leg. I'm marginalized. So the lady's talking to me, and she's going, "Well, you got to work with these people." I'm like, "Work with people to take my benefits away from me? Are you?" It's like she didn't even think about what she was saying. She just said it because that's what she's supposed to say. They got the good VA people over there held hostage by their jobs. Okay, they can't speak out. If they do, if they speak out too strongly or they try to organize against it, they'll get fired. I guarantee it. Because all the idiots at the top want to keep their multi-million-dollar paychecks and their glamorous health care. I guarantee you, everybody that runs the VA, they got senator and presidential health care. They got that kind of health care. They have access to everything, and you're not a fucking lab experiment when you walk in there because it's not tied into the colleges. You don't have a team with the guy that's supposed to be working on. You got a bunch of college students underneath him. You're just a freaking student project. And then this lady wants me to work with these people to take my benefits away from me. I call them and tell them I told them I'm gonna X22 myself. Boom. Fuck you, man. I'm not gonna do it. But I guarantee you, there's a lot of veterans out there that are far less stable than I am, okay, that will do it. You got homeless veterans out there, homeless veterans, man. And they're giving money to the illegals and they're using our veterans, they're using our benefits down there at the border as first contact coming in for medical. They're using veteran funded crap down there, using our funding for that. Look it up, man. They're gonna bury that story real quick, man. We're the demographic you don't want to piss off. We're the ones that know your tactics. We're the ones that know how to use these freaking weapons. We're the ones that know how to get the weapons. We're the ones that know how to ambush. We're the ones that know military tactics better than the police. Guaranteed, guaranteed. We train them. FBI has to go to a military base, Quantico, for training. Who trains them? Freaking Marines and Navy. They go to the Office of Candidate School. And they're trying to piss off this demographic. Why aren't we doing anything? Why aren't the veterans standing up, man? I don't care if you're making $1 million a year and you have the best health care in the world. You should be standing up for the health care that you signed up for. And that health care should equal the health care that you have. Because you put your life on the line when you sign that contract. You know, our life was the collateral for that. So why are we letting them take our benefits away, man? Why? Seriously, man, I'd like some answers to the question, man. I'll stay on here. I'll stay live for a while, man. After this rant, I'll stay live for a while. I want to see some people popping up and answering some of these questions. Seriously, man. Seriously. Seriously. I mean, this is one time I wish I could get some viewers, especially veterans, man. I don't even want to hear any type of excuse, man. In this case, excuses are like assholes. Everyone's got one and they all freaking stink. Okay, there's no excuse for this except for the fact that they're trying to screw the veterans over. They do not care about us. Okay? These people that are in power right now do not care about us. They hate us, man, because we're the ones that could stand up. We're the ones that are forming the militias. Huh. People don't understand that, man. I guarantee you more veterans are forming militias right now than ever before. Guarantee it. That's what they're afraid of. They don't want us. Even a gimp like me, man. Even a gimp like me, I'm able to organize. I have leadership training. I mean, far and beyond what leadership training you get in some of the corporations and even some of the police department. Because my leadership training was definitely a life or death situation. The police department, you got chances that it's not a life or death situation. You got chances that your leadership wouldn't have to be as harsh. I'm not saying that my dad was a cop. I know a cop, but my dad my dad was in very few shootouts, man. If you arrested somebody, he tried to use this before you use this, man. Use this before you use this. That's what my dad always taught me. Use your brain for something. Use your head for something more than a hat rack. Act your age, not your shoe size. I'm gonna bring the police out here. I'm gonna let them do a wellness check on me. And I'm gonna say something to them. I'm gonna say, look, man, why aren't you guys saying if you got veterans in there, why aren't you guys saying nothing? So we got, yeah, well, you're paying for everything that you shouldn't be paying for. Okay, you know, since I was a kid in the '60s until now, the corporations have taken total control. There's no competition anymore because they're all in the little cabal at the top. You know, when you got mega monopolies going on and straight up violations of the monopoly laws. Okay, straight up violations, man. Some of these companies they're their own competition. Okay, they're their own competition. Go look on the shelves. And then you got this is a cabal. This is a damn criminal enterprise at the top. It's been there for like decades. They're entrenched. Okay. Trump keeps talking about the deep state. They're deeply entrenched in power. The bureaucrats are running the fucking show. All these other people are just figureheads that they can put in front of you. Like George Carlin said, you have the illusion of choice. Okay, you have the illusion of choice. Meanwhile, the guys behind the scenes, all the bureaucrats, they're pulling the freaking strings and they're taking the money and they're laundering the money. They're screwing the veterans over. I mean, I haven't seen the VA this bad since 1981, man. And I've been on the system since 81, in and out of the VA system. Okay. I'm an old school vet. I came in 78 to 8. I came in 1978. I have a little bit more pull than some of the younger vets that they just screwed the contracts up. I'm under the oath. My contract is so old they have to take a page out of it and exchange it for a generic one to take the benefits that were originally on that page. Page 2 of my 1978 contract had this fine print, said that medical, dental, psych, all that stuff will be covered for the rest of my life, fully covered, not just one time going to get my teeth fixed. My dad had reconstructive surgery done on his mouth after he got in a car accident. He had his nose redone at the VA, free, no copay. And he was solid middle class in the 60s and 70s, solid middle class, maybe even a little bit upper middle class. He did some wise investing. You know, that's the problem. People confuse feelings with action. Just because I feel depressed doesn't mean I'm going to take my own life. I already been there, done that, man. I'm oblivious to that crap. My life is worth a hell of a lot more than people think it is to me. If it wasn't, I'd be dead on the street. I'd have been dead in the first couple of years on the street. I'd probably been OD'd somewhere. I guarantee you, because they were feeding me Vicodin like they were candy when I was in the VA after I broke my hand. And they're saying, well, we're going to cut you off. No, you're not going to cut me off my benefits because I don't want to come there and help you take away my benefits. It's not, there's not even a logical fucking train that you can get on that hasn't been derailed before it got out of the station with that thinking, man. Like I said, it wasn't even 3 years ago that I was getting rides to the VA, and they were paying for it, and they were scheduling the rides. And then they slowly but surely started phasing that stuff out so the asshole at the top can keep his freaking paycheck. Poppy, stop. 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 Don't scratch daddy's stuff. No, I don't care. I don't care. You don't scratch daddy's couch, you little fart. You think I want to kill myself with a cat like this, man? Look at that cat. She keeping me alive. You gonna come say hi, Poppy? Are you gonna come say hi? Are you gonna come say hi? Okay. No? Okay. Yeah, she's in heat right now. I mean, just because I say I'm gonna feel like doing something doesn't mean I'm gonna do it. That's the problem with these freaking idiots nowadays. They think like you feel like you're gonna do something, that means you're gonna do it. Sometimes I feel like kicking my cat, but I don't do it. She frustrates me, but I don't do it. I don't strangle her and throw her around the room. Usually I just get a little harsh with her and leave her alone until it go away. And she'll go in the bathroom and sulk. So literally, because I trained her to do that. When she scratched me for the first time, I locked her in that bathroom for a couple hours. I called her a bad kitty. So now when she's a bad kitty, she knows I'm mad at her. She'll go in there until I come in and say, okay, sorry. But when I go in there, if she knows she did something wrong, she'll literally brush up against me like I'm sorry. And I have to forgive her. But just because I feel frustrated with her doesn't mean I'm gonna kill the cat. Jesus, you can't even express your feelings without someone taking them seriously. To the point to where they think you're gonna do something. When you say you're gonna do it, you feel like doing it. I felt like freaking blowing my brains out earlier. You know why? Because these idiots aren't giving me the health care. And they're running me into a stone wall every time. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it. I'm going to find a way around it. I'm going to find a way to fight it and stand up against it. That doesn't mean I don't get discouraged. I mean, I put these videos out about the veterans benefits all the time, and nobody even comments on them, man. You don't want your benefits? You don't really think your life was worth the government paying your medical bills for the rest of your freaking life? When I say medical, I mean across the board. Psych, dental, medical. And barely giving you the you know, most of us come out of boot camp. A lot of us come out of boot camp really screwed up, man. We come out of training really screwed up physically. We don't feel it when you're 19, 20 years old. You're Superman. But now my neck's screwed up, and I carried what over 100 pounds on my neck and my back for a whole year and 20 mile marches. I ran in boots and my uniform. But see, they don't want to pay you for that because these idiots at the top are taking a hefty paycheck. And their benefits and their little, I guarantee you, they pat each other on the back up there with little uh, slush fund bonuses. Just like the guys that run this place, they're getting bonuses on the side plus $250,000 a year, 5 grand. Why are you getting 5 grand? I thought, why don't you put that back in? Why don't you give that 5 grand to me? I can use a new fucking computer. It's my money anyways. Even if you take a loan out of a bank, you need bodies to fill these apartments. You need to guarantee bodies to fill those apartments for that loan. So like I said, man, I told that lady, I said, you want me to come there to work with the people to take away my benefits and smile about it, basically. No, we're working with, no, you're not. You're working against me, man. You're taking my fucking benefits, man. You started doing it 20 years ago. You started doing it in 81, man. When you dumped the first GI Bill, man. You dumped the first GI Bill. That's when you started. I went in right at that transition period too. You know, my second enlistment, I caught the Montgomery Act, which stripped us of all the rights that they had under the previous Montgomery Act, the one my dad was under. Like I said, my dad had plastic surgery done on his face. He had teeth put in his mouth by the VA after he got in an accident with the freaking when he's working for the police department. He got in a car accident. Had reconstructive surgery done on his face by the VA. He didn't have to use it. The benefits that he had from the police department for his family, man, were the ones that used those benefits the most. He went straight to the VA. So basically, what he did was he took his VA benefits and he combined them with the other benefits. Because I'm sure there's stuff that wasn't even covered under the VA that it took out way after World War II, like giving you houses. Geez, I don't want to do that one again. You might have a ready force of fighting men, man. Shit. Okay. Now they give you 2% loans that probably jacked it up anyways. With inflation, that 2% loan ain't worth crap. I mean, think about that. After World War II, all these track houses out here in California and all over the United States, they had track houses. They built track housing. Were given to the veterans. What did the Korean vets get? Nothing. What did the Vietnam vets get? Spit on. I feel sorry for those two veterans, those two categories of veterans, because they fucked you guys over, man. They put you in a war that wasn't even supposed to be there. Oh, communism. Yeah, okay. You know, we just defeated Hitler, man. What do we got to worry about communism for? Well, it's a form of government. Well, so is Hitler's form of government. Why do you think they offed Kennedy, man? He was going to work with Khrushchev, man, on the space program. That was one of the reasons. The other reason is because he's trying to abolish the IRS. And then he exposed them with that, secret society speech, which Eisenhower exposed the military-industrial complex before Kennedy got in office. He told you, man. That's why Kennedy was opposed to the Vietnam War, man. And Eisenhower went through it with the Korean War. Was it Eisenhower and what's his name? Harry Truman. Eisenhower went through it in a war. He saw the military-industrial complex firsthand, and guarantee we did. He saw they were playing both sides against the middle, but they gave him a job in politics. Okay, probably had a few of his fetishes stroked. Going back to the VA, man, why aren't we fighting for our benefits, man? Why aren't we fighting for our benefits? Why aren't we fighting for our benefits, man? Oh, yeah, I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear it, man. We've become so apathetic with our benefits that they're just taking them left and right. Which I should have got no, dude. I'm not even combat vet, and I know I signed my life in the contract. My life was the collateral for that benefits. People that lost their lives, okay, they don't even get the benefits they deserve. They don't. They don't. They get a burial plot in Arlington, man. They should be celebrated, man. Not celebrating as being killer, but celebrating for heroic acts, man. Unless you shot yourself in combat or part of friendly fire, if you lost your life in combat, man, you were fighting for what you believed was right, what they told you to believe was right. Deep down inside, every soldier and every Marine knows what's right and wrong, man. We know you don't mess with the civilians unless they're messing with us. Okay, we know you have to divide them up, and we have to be harsh, but we have to be fair too. See what I'm saying? Combat's not easy, man. I can just hear some combat vets screaming, "No, you can't be, dude. If you don't, you wind up just like the freaking enemy, man. And then you become the enemy to the people that think you're a savior, man. If you act just like the people that are oppressing the people, then you're no better than the people that are oppressing them." Like I said, man, I'll probably stay up here for a few minutes. Maybe I'll watch a video or something. You know, I'm just really fed up with a lot of this crap. You know what I mean? I mean, I I am not the type of person that will take my own life. Been there, done that. Don't work out too well. You know, I like my life being alive. I like feeling the blood pump through my veins and shit. You know, I mean, If the younger heads can't understand that what's going on is insane, I feel sorry for you, man. I really do. I really do, man. Seriously, man. And then you make fun of the boomers, but we lived through better times than you'll ever live through right now. Guarantee it, man. We didn't have Chester chasing us up the street. We had a community protecting us from Chester. Okay, literally, if someone came in and messed with these kids, I mean, you got it from the kids because we had big families back then, man. If I was hanging out with a 13-year-old, he might have had a 16-year-old brother, and we hang out with him. See how that works, man? We protected ourselves, man. Our community protected us. Our families protected us. That's better times than you can ever have right now. You got all these helicopter parents, man. You fall and skin your knee, and they act like you just broke your fucking leg, and you'll never walk again. And you just put so much. I mean, there's a crazy Korean guy. Emotional damage. That's exactly what it is. They're damaging you emotionally. Seriously, man. If you don't know how to take a punch in the nose, when someone really punches you in the nose, you're gonna be like, you're always gonna get punched in the nose because you're gonna be afraid of it. My first heavy punch came from my dad because I stole from his ass and I lied to him about it. Okay, 14 years old, he jacked me up against the wall. He pulled the punch and he knocked the wind out. That's all he did was knock the wind out of me. He didn't hit me hard enough to do any damage except for maybe hot knock. And I felt him pull that punch. Okay, I felt it pull back. He wanted to show me, man. You're 14 going on 15. This is what's going to happen to you out there if you start stealing. Someone's going to whoop your ass. Do I regret him doing it? No. Did I hate him at the time? No. I was scared as fucking shit. I never stole from him again. Never. Same morning I would call my mom a pig, man. He knocked me off my feet, gave me the back of my hand. At 16, he knocked me off my fucking feet with the back of his hand. 6 foot. He was like 5'11", 200 pounds. And I was like all 5'8", freaking 150 pounds max. He took me off my feet and said, "Don't you ever call my wife, your mother, that again. I will kick your ass out in the street and you won't have a place to live. I will disown you." I never said that to my mom. Now I'd probably say it to her because she's a prejudiced woman, man. She kept dropping F bombs even after she knew her kids are mixed. Kept dropping the N bomb, man. My dad dropped the N bomb one time after I got married to her. I said, "Look," he goes, "How's your N bomb wife?" He was drunk. I said, "Dad, you want to talk to her? She's sitting right here." He said, "No, Dad, that's my wife, man. That's my wife, dude. If you were here, I'd probably punch you right in the face." But he wasn't there. I chewed his ass out and hung up on him. Next day, he called and apologized. And he loved my grandchildren. He loved my grandson, man. That was his favorite kid right there. I guarantee it was, man. My mom was the one that put the brakes on a lot of that stuff. I know it now. My dad's funeral, she was dropping the N bomb left and right. I'm like, "Mom, man, you got mixed children, man. I don't appreciate you using that word around me. You know, move into the new times where we don't see color anymore, man." My mom was raised in the 50s and the 60s. She was raised in the 40s and the 50s. She was raised at pretty much the tail end of when Jim Crow was just starting to lose a lot of its strength. But still, she was in the suburbs, man. My dad was from the freaking city, man. He was the city guy, man. He lived right in the inner city, man. In Chicago, the inner city. It's all black now, but it was white, it was Irish, German. There's a lot of minorities there. They were considered minorities at that time. If you have full Irish blood, you were considered a minority, buddy. If you were a WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, see, you were considered a minority. My mom and dad were raised in a time where it was illegal to marry outside of your race. It was illegal, man, in all 50 states. I think it was a federal law in Jim Crow. You couldn't interracially marry. Right? They might have left it to a lot of the states because a lot of states were hefty Jim Crow. The southern states, they were like, and boy, you better get over there and sit on your side of the bus. That's not your drinking fountain, boy. Go over there. That's exactly the way it was when I was growing up, man. When we drove through the South to visit my aunt and uncle down in Shreveport, Louisiana, that's all I heard was boy, 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 boy. Even talking to white people, boy, get over here. Boy, you better bring your ass on over here, your white ass on over here. You use that, they do that too. I grew up in the tail end of Jim Crow. I know what prejudice is. I was raised in a prejudiced household. That doesn't mean I'm prejudiced. As a matter of fact, that made me rebel even worse, man. I didn't know what color was when I was a kid. All I know is all my friends are white. Everybody that hung around was white. When I was like 7 years old, we had a black person move into the neighborhood and they made friends with one of their kids, man. I was like 7, 8, like I was about 11. The kid was like 10, 9, 10. The kid's nickname was Junebug and the dog's name was Ray. My mom got a kick out of that, man. I understand it now. Junebug was like, that's a nickname, man. Come here, Junebug. It's like I call my cat the Poppydopoulos. That's the nickname. Even back then, I understood it. I understood it because my dad would call my brother Towhead and call me Tiger. It was a nickname the family gave the kid. The dog's name was Ray. All right, we had a dog named Fritz. Huh. We had a dog named Rocky. Had a dog named Lady, my Samoyed pup. Huh. Man, I know I'm just rambling now, man. It's become a rant and roll. Just getting back on the subject of the VA hospital, man. Yeah, I said this in the last video. I put, why are we letting them do that to us? Why the frizzle frazzle frump are we letting them do that to us, man? And they try to tell you that, well, just work with our team. Oh, we take your benefits away from you slowly but surely, and we'll make you smile as we do it. It's exactly what they're doing. Exactly what they're doing. Exactly what they're doing. When they started dividing the veterans up into the gold, the silver, I said, no, this is just dividing us up, man. Like nobody that's ever been to combat would actually let a combat vet not go ahead of them. Especially if you were trained like the Army and the Marines were trained for combat. That's the backbone of both of those branches is physical combat, boots on the ground. Everything else is support. You can bomb the hell out of a place, but you don't have people there to occupy it, man. There's no use in having it, right? You don't have people there on the ground to defend it. There's no use in having it. No one calling the airstrikes, none of that stuff, man. They can go into. Yeah, this is probably the VA right here. Hello? Yeah. Uh huh. Alternative to my other benefits, right? No, 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 no. What alternative are you talking about? Getting a ride there? An alternative to my blood thinner, like what? No, I don't really. I don't remember being on it. All I know is I was on warfarin and Coumadin. Coumadin gave me the headaches. There's the one I couldn't take. I can't take those. They give me massive headaches. There's been no real interactions with my diet at all. Nobody's asking me what I eat. Okay, nobody's even asking me any questions about these thinners. Nobody's asking me any questions about the side effects that are coming from the other stuff you're giving me. Like the fact that I'm coughing up this clear mucus out of my lungs, and I've been doing it since you've been giving me this stuff to stop the stuff from flooding my lungs. And I've been mentioning that since I got the medication. Yeah, I take it consistently, and I should see a doctor like at least once a month, right? Physically see a doctor, or is that not on the table anymore? I'm serious. You're who now again? Jamie. Okay, Jamie from where? Okay, the anticoagulation clinic. Okay, this is not about my medication as much as it is about me getting there to see a doctor. Okay, that is part of that is part of the way every doctor that I've ever been to works. Okay, I was supposed to go have a blood panel done to see if I got any black mold in my apartment. Okay, that I couldn't get there because I couldn't get there. I was supposed to have glasses by now. I was supposed to have my chair adjusted. Okay, all right. When I signed that contract, I didn't sign a contract for a house. I signed a contract for my freaking life. Now, I don't know if you've ever done that before, but it's kind of scary, especially when you're going in right after the Vietnam War kick was ended. There's another war brewing on the horizon, and you know it. Okay, none of you who's never been a veteran knows that. None of you. Now we're sitting here telling you, and I guarantee you, I'm not the only veteran telling you this, man. I can't be. All right, I can't be the only veteran that's noticed the benefits being slipping and sliding off the table one by one. I've been a veteran. I've been in the VA system since 1981. Okay, don't you think I've seen my benefits decline since '81? So, okay, deflect, 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 deflect. It's not an option if I can't go see a doctor, man. You know it, and I know it. All right. Now we're sitting here, and you guys are working for us. You guys wouldn't have a job if there was no VA hospital. They weren't supposedly taking care of us veterans. If we didn't sign those contracts, you wouldn't have a job. You might have a job. You might have a job, but there'd be a hell of a lot more competition for that job than what you got under the VA. Okay, what's going to happen if all the veterans step back and stop going to the VA for about a year? How many layoffs do you think would happen? You think the movie industry's having layoffs? Them people at the top do not care about you or me. And the more you run their policies in my face, the more it makes me think they got you hamstrung over there. They got your hands tied. Even if you wanted to speak out, you can't because your job is at stake. So tell me I'm wrong, man. Seriously, tell me I'm wrong on a recorded line. No, I'm serious about this. You know, if something doesn't happen, you're gonna have. I might have made a little thing of what I feel like, but I feel like what I do are two different things. I've learned how to differentiate my feelings from my actions. Okay. Now I've seen these benefits decline in so much in the last 4 years. It's not even funny. You got empty clinics sitting over there. I guarantee you do. Guarantee you, because the last time I was there for my leg, it was way after COVID, and that clinic was empty. They were having cocaine and cookies in the back. Not literally, but you know, I'm just fed up, and I don't care what you say until I can get a ride there. And if you try to cut me off the benefits from not working with these people, then I have no choice but to come after you personally because you're trying to make my life miserable. You're trying to make me go in there and tell them, okay, you can take more of my benefits. I have to work with you in order for you to take more of my benefits away from me. I don't think you do. I really don't. I really don't. You know how many veterans die on the street every year? Look that number up. You think they should be treating my demographic like that in these bad little times going on, man? Who do you think is forming the militias out there? We are. The veterans are forming those militias. Without us, there's no protection for this country on our soil. Because the military, our Army and Navy cannot act on our soil unless it's a declared war against us. Yeah, okay. Have a nice day, man. Well, see, that's the way I talk to him, man. I mean, she's trying to tell me to work with these people to take my benefits away from me, man. How the frizzle frump are you saying that these people doing that, man? Seriously. If it, oh boy. Oh boy. And all I'm getting is okay, 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 okay. I understand. No, you don't understand. You don't understand at all. Every veteran that's got benefits over here, we need to start ramping up using those benefits. Seriously. We need to invade these hospitals and sign up for our VA benefits and then start bitching when we don't have the full benefits we're supposed to have. Take down that structure, man. Like I said, and no, I don't think anybody who's ever been in the military would not, unless it's an extreme emergency or an emergency, would not let a combat vet go ahead of them in line. I'll wait the extra 20 minutes or a half hour. If his arm got shot off in Kai, buddy, go ahead. Go on, man. We're both in the prosthetic line. You got your arm cut off, and you go ahead, dude. I will sit there and read a book. That's why I kept this going, man, so you could see how these people try to get to you, man. They're trying to convince you to work with them as they take your benefits away from you. And then they try to put a smile on your face. They blow so much gas up your ass that you become the gaslight. You just parrot what they, oh, okay, da 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 da. Meanwhile, the guys at the top are raking in the cash and the benefits and the perks. I just don't understand it. I refuse to even. I just don't understand it. I don't. I don't. How can someone think like that? How can we, as a demographic, okay, we're bonded under the fact that we're all there to fight for this country. We're all there to fight for the country, man. That's why we joined the military, to stand up, to be counted. Whether we, I'm not saying the draftees, but during World War II, they had a hell of a lot of draftees. There were people trying to get in the military, and if you didn't go in the military, hey, you weren't treated very well on the outside. My grandfather was 4F because he had flat feet, but his brother went to Iwo Jima. Okay, but he performed the service on the outside. He was a bus driver, man. My grandma worked for a grocery store. She worked in the butcher department. And she kept that job all the way almost until the day she died, man. Till she retired. She retired from there. Part-time worker retired. No, she wasn't part-time. She was actually full-time. She worked night shift. My gramps worked a day shift. That was in the 40s now, man. 40s and 50s, 60s, even up until the 70s, I think, till they moved. No, they moved in 64. Did they move in 64? Yeah, they moved in. They moved to Hegwish in 64. But all the way up until the 60s, my grandma didn't have to work anymore. My gramps, I guess he worked for a while and then retired. My gramps didn't have to work anymore after that. My grandma, shit, we lived 2 blocks away from my, we lived 2 blocks away from him. My dad moved 2 blocks away from his mom. So he was a mama's boy. Like I said, I don't understand how any veteran is not pissed off right now. Whether you use the benefits or not, man, that's something you signed your life for. Your house wasn't the collateral, your clothing, your bank account, your life was the collateral. My life was the collateral for that contract. They owe me, regardless of whether I went to combat or not, just being trained and going through that training, man. I went through it willingly, and now my body's breaking down because of it. I don't care how well you kept yourself in shape. Your body breaks down from the training we went through, especially ground troops, Marines and Army. If you were a grunt, your body got broken down. I don't care if we were like I was a grunt, but I was in mortars. I was in weapons training platoon. I was in weapons platoon. Okay, mortars, machine guns, and anti tank. That was my platoon. I carried 100 pounds plus the base plate on my neck. Machine gunners carried 100 pounds plus a goddamn machine gun on their freaking neck and the tripod or the bipod. It was all pretty much one unit, but you carried it as like 30 pounds of machine gun on your neck. The base plate and the tube, that's at least 30 pounds. The bipod, that's about 20 pounds. So is it bouncing on your neck? And then you got all this other, you got about 75, 80 pounds on your back and about another 30 pounds on your shoulders and your waist. My knees are blown, my back is blown, my neck is blown, my neck is fucked. I was perfectly healthy when I went in there, man. I wrestled, man. I was pretty good at wrestling. I just didn't have the confidence. Like you said, I can't understand how we veterans are letting them get away with this, especially nowadays when everything's becoming more and more exposed. Like I said at the beginning of this, they're using our benefits down at the border, man. They're using our resources down there. Isn't that why you think the public would really go for it? That's why they're burying that story, man. I don't watch the mainstream media unless it's referenced in the channels that I watch. They reference this usually to comment on it, and it's usually not funny. It's usually funny as hell, and it's showing the hypocrisy of the whole movie that's running right now, the whole program that they're running at the top, all the dog and pony shows going on. That's the thing about being a veteran. We recognize a dog and pony show. I mean, they had dog and pony shows all the time. We had one every week before we went on Liberty. Every Friday night, we went to the Wild West show, Colonel West and his Wild West show. We had smokers. If you had a beef with this old battalion now, if you had a beef with someone within a battalion, you had about half hours or an hour worth of smokers where everybody got in there and they settled their beefs, which inspired us to do it in the North 40. You know, we were beating the shit out of each other all the time if we had a legitimate beef with somebody, a legitimate one. I'm not talking about, I don't like you because you're ugly. I'm talking about, I mean, you're being an asshole, man. Don't beat the shit out of you, man. Straighten up and fly right, dude. That's the way the infantry was, man. We took care of ourselves. What do you think they call us, Uncle Sam's misguided children? We're not trained to take prisoners, man. We're trained to follow orders, man. The orders say no prisoners, man. We're going in there to kill everything. I don't think the Army's like that unless they do the special forces part of it. Yeah, most of the time the Marine Corps is like the giant special forces of the military. We're the tip of the spear of the ground troops usually. They send in the Marines right after the SEALs. Usually the Marines go in, and when the Army goes in, they send their recon in first. Okay, so either way, you got a whole. The Army, I believe they operate a little bit differently than the Marine Corps. We're more the shock troops. Literally, man, that's the way they train us. You're trained to kill or be killed. Period. When I was in the Marine Corps, we had a saying: "A stupid Marine becomes a dead Marine." You're not here to die for your country. You're here to make the other motherfucker die for his. That whole saying: "Stupid Marines are dead Marines. We're not here to die for our country. We'll make sure the other motherfucker dies for his." Period. End of story. So why shouldn't I go after the VA with that kind of fervor, man? Why shouldn't I be that passionate about them taking away my benefits? I don't mean physically. I mean verbally, vocally. First Amendment is very powerful when you use it correctly, man. And I'm a disabled veteran too. Man, you are playing in the wrong freaking field now. I cannot get up there. I cannot use these buses. I've already tried that. Last time I was on a bus, the bus driver hit the brakes and I went flying out of my chair. I was strapped in and I went flying out because the chair wasn't. You see how this chair moves because my brakes are fucked up? I'm supposed to have this thing taken in to have my chair steadied up. I want to go get my prosthetic. I want to get my teeth fixed. I want teeth. I have gum disease. You want to take care of my heart? Help me get rid of the gum disease, man. There's a direct correlation, man. And even, all these doctors know it too. Wonder how many people they let in there with bad gums, and they're treating their heart instead of treating the cause. Part of the cause. They already put an implant in my mouth and they're not even take care of the work they already did. They're not. How is that legal? Why? Because I was a freaking class project. That's why. This is a class project for UCLA. Like I said, why are we letting them take our benefits? Why? Why? Okay? We should be still. Every veteran in the United States should be camped out. We should run rotations, man. Have about a dozen veterans camped out. We walk our post, man. That's a post now. I'm declaring every VA hospital as a post for us to post up in. That's our property, man. It's there for us. It's not there for the doctors. It wouldn't be there if it wasn't for us. And it's about time they started really realizing, man. I don't mean just giving you the lip service and they want to take care of me. Let me come in there. Give me a ride. They don't have a ride anymore because they fired all their contractors, man. They wouldn't even have to use a contractor. Just freaking hire some vans and run it out of there and keep it all in house. The contractor's killing a lot of stuff, man. It'd probably be cheaper to run a lot of this stuff in house. Like having a set of nurses that does go out and treat us from the VA, directly from the VA, not a subcontractor. I wonder how much money that would save in the long term. Then you don't have to worry about it. You can get the stuff done. You can get all this stuff done. You don't have to have a work. You don't have to run the nurse ragged because she can go back there and have take a break and go home. That hospital doesn't even run like a regular hospital, man. Seriously, there's services that run for 24 hours that don't run for 24 hours in that hospital, man. How's that work? How's that work? How does a doctor go home at 12 o'clock work when that's a freaking hospital? How come doctors aren't working 18-hour shifts over there? And the administrators, what are they doing? Playing freaking golf and rubber stamping crap at the top and keeping their paycheck? I'm all for a capitalistic system, but I'm not for crony capitalism, man. There's no good old fashioned businessmen out there anymore. They're all tyrant. They're all corporate tyrants. Ain't no businessmen. They say most of the CEOs are freaking sociopaths. That's the best CEO, man. That's not the best CEO to have. That means you don't care about anything but the money, and that don't work. Because when the money dries up, you have nothing. This whole system's going to collapse right now, and everybody knows it. Both sides of the aisle, man, and the middle, like the independents, we all know it too. Okay, this system's beyond the decline. This is in total implosion. It's controlled demolition. They're going to take the system down and rebuild it. The Hegelian dialectic. They gave you a broken system. When it breaks down and they can't fix it anymore, they're going to let it break down. They're going to rebuild it the way they want to rebuild it. It's probably going to be worse than the first one. If you're all for cashless society, you're really playing into the damn corruption. Anyway, Poppy, what's wrong? You want a boyfriend? Yeah. She's in heat. Yeah. Yeah. You want treats? Come on up here for treats. Come on up here for treats and say hi to everybody. Come on up here for treats and say hi. Okay. Yeah, she's being a little butthead. She's being a little butthead. Anyway, it's been an hour, and I just had the example of the way these people treated me on the phone. I'm glad I recorded it too. So have a nice day. Have a nice day, guys. Peace out. Semper Fidelis. Poppy loves you too. I love you guys. And